Morning, everyone. It's Nico. Today's thought load is going to be about some tough stuff, about suffering and sacrifice. And I wanted to share some perspectives on these topics just based on what I've currently gone through, or what I've gone through in the past couple weeks, past couple of months. And before I say exactly the things that I've sacrificed or the suffering that I may or may not have gone through, I want everyone to know that these topics are relative. The suffering that someone experiences by losing their parents or getting involved in a sex trade, like they were kidnapped or something, having to move across the world and start new. There is so many other levels and factors when it comes to sacrifice and suffering. What I'm going to talk about today is nowhere near as intense, but hopefully it'll give some perspective into things that are happening in your life. I have no idea. But again, if we can help one person, then that's what we're here for. And so with that, lately, I've had the opportunity to move into a house. I've been trying to set things up in the home, been trying to just organize things in a way that make it a house, make it comfortable to live in. And another perspective that I have on home ownership is something that I got from my parents, and that was, I've always felt the need that when I got a house, I wanted to have as much done as possible, as quickly as possible, so that I could actually enjoy all of the aspects of the home. Now, you may be thinking at this point, there doesn't seem to be a lot of suffering or sacrifice involved in this yet. But that's the main point. That's the segue that I wanted to make right there. In order to do that, in order to set up the home the way I want it to be, in order to take advantage of every single moment of time that I have to give other things up. In the past couple of years, simply because of my financial situation or how I wanted to spend time or what I was doing in my free time, I would do things that were not very glamorous. Watch TV shows, watch movies, play video games. And all of those were things that I enjoyed, still do enjoy. But none of those things are going to help me accomplish the goals that I have in my house today. And so whenever we have situations like that in life, we have to be honest with ourselves and say, you know what? This thing that I'm doing, it's not right for me right now. Does it mean that I won't ever do that thing again? No, not necessarily. But for a time, we may have to give that up. Now, I want you to know that the piece on sacrifice, and whenever we enter into moments in life where we have to choose if we need to sacrifice something or not, sometimes the things that we sacrifice have nothing to do with our physical habits, right? The games that we play or the people that we talk to or where we spend our time. Sometimes the things that we need to sacrifice have to do with the way that we think and the way that we see the world. Because there have been plenty of times in my life where I thought I knew what was going on. I thought I knew, I understood. But then after a crash course in something, or someone hits me with some logic that I hadn't thought of, I started to realize that I was not in the right. And now, why is this important? Why is it important to consider sacrificing not only some habits that we may have, but also ways that we may think? Because if we were to continue, let's use me as an example in what I just gave you. If I was to continue with that idea that I had for the next couple years, or it doesn't even matter, the next couple months, how does that change the outlook of a person's life? And think about your own life and moments there. Has there ever been a time, think back when you were younger, when you thought, oh, I don't know, dinosaurs were real? If we continued to think that until we were 15, we'd probably have a totally different childhood, right? We'd probably be the weird dinosaur kid in school. And that's a super simple example. But imagine if it was later in life and it was something more serious. Imagine that the idea was, I can't do X because people will hate me, or people won't love me, or I'm not good enough. That idea is something that you may have to sacrifice, even if it's been with you for your entire life or for a long period of time. And it's never easy. And whether you're the type of person that wants someone to be there, wants someone to help out, or you want to take it all on your own, there are going to be times in life, not just once, not just twice, probably a lot, where we're going to have to go through this exercise, this thought process, to get rid of the things that we don't need, that don't serve us in life right now. And part of it is being honest with ourselves. Part of it is taking the time to see where we're going and where we want to be in life. And the other part is taking action. It sounds really good. It feels really good when we can think about all of these topics and wonder how amazing it will be, or wonder how the changes will affect our life. But if we do not take the initiative to suffer through some shit right now and act on those thoughts, they mean nothing. And I have a different quote today, but I want to say it was Denzel Washington that said that something along the lines of, dreams without goals are just illusions, or something like that, right? Same type of thing here. We can think about all the amazing things that we want in life, but if we're not going to physically do something to create them in our lives, then it means nothing. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's Thought Load. And I do want to leave you with a quote from none other than David Goggins. He says, you got to find the courage. It's going to be hard work, discipline, and the non-cognitive skills. Hard work, dedication, sacrifice, that will set you apart. All of it is a test. That's all it is. Guys, stay tuned next week for another Thought Load. And as always, begin the duel, win the day.